It's a wake-up call. This is a big, fat wake-up call for New England's front office. Don't be fooled by this box score. I know it doesn't look like we got shut out, but let's think about this. We had 2 touchdowns. One came from a scoop and score. Christain Gonzalez on a fumble once Skylar Thompson and the Dolphins' second strings were already in. The other touchdown was when the Patriots were already down by 4 touchdowns and had nothing but a fat goose egg on the scoreboard, and Drake Maye heaved it 35 yards upfield to find Austin Hooper, who was left wide open in the end zone. Other than that, I saw no positives from today. None. And I'm sorry if that just sounds very disgruntled and just sounds angry, but this is the same product every single week with no changes, no improvements. I thought the last 3 weeks the Patriots actually looked like they were starting to find their footing, and then every step forward, we take 3 steps back. You should not have lost this bad to the Miami Dolphins. You shouldn't have. And I'm pointing now my fingers to Robert Kraft to make a change in the coaching system. You need to. Whether it's Drake Maye, Alex Van Pelt, DeMarcus Covington, something needs to change. Or guess what? You're going to see this next weekend with a different opponent, but the same product. I want to jump into my instant reaction here. While all of my emotions are fresh, I know a lot of you guys are having the same emotions after watching that, but thank you to everybody that did join me and watched this football game with me. And let me tell you, it was like watching paint dry. It was tough. It was very, very tough, but let's go on ahead and just jump into our offense here. Let's talk about Drake Maye, and I think the only stat I really want to talk about right now is that interception right there. The interception came very late in the game, but it was also when the Patriots were 15-34, so it did look like the Patriots could maybe make a comeback if they ended up making the opportune decisions. And unfortunately, it ended with another Drake Maye interception while they're trying to move and win this ball game. And I think it just kind of comes down to just him being a rookie. Once again, I don't think he has a turnover problem, even though he did also have a fumble that he did give over to the Miami Dolphins defense earlier in this game. But I said this earlier on my stream, when you've got such a massive dumpster fire, you throw one more match in there that happens to be a Drake Maye interception, you still have a dumpster fire. So, yeah, Drake Maye, his interception there while the Patriots were making their last run with 5 minutes left to go. That's going to be tough. That's definitely a momentum killer. But in the sense is that he had nothing to work with. The only thing I will point out about his lone interception here was that it was one of those plays where the blitz was coming and he was being flushed out of the pocket. And Drake Maye, he has that competitor in him, is what I'm going to call it. Not cockiness, it's a competitiveness where he wants to finish the play. But babe, when you watch Kirk Cousins and Matthew Stafford, even Jacoby Brissett, the veterans in this league, and they see that pressure's coming and still nobody's open while you have the defense breathing down your neck, you know what they do? They take this ball and they crunch over. And that's ball security. Drake Maye is out here still thinking that he can somehow make this miraculous one-handed play, and he takes, instead of just taking the sack, he throws it away to the defenders. Take the sack. That's all you have to do. Yeah, you'll go back a couple of yards, but at least you'll still have possession of the football. So that is something to definitely keep an eye on. But once again, you know, I'm just picking at straws here when it comes to watching the dumpster fire that is the New England Patriots offense. Because look at this. Antonio Gibson, he's your leading rusher on the day with 30 yards. Drake Maye's in second with 26 yards on 5 carries. And then Ramondre Stevenson gets most of the workload, 8 carries, and you're looking at a whopping 13 yards from Ramondre Stevenson. I don't know what's going on with Ramondre. He started off the first 2 games extremely hot, and then ever since then, I can't seem to get him to rush over 20 yards in 2 consecutive games. I don't know what's happening with Ramondre Stevenson, but if you can't rely on the run game, guess what that tells the defense? They're gonna throw the ball, which means you're gonna blitz Drake Maye, which means you're gonna bring the pressure and you're going to cover every receiver that you see in the backfield. It's a disaster. If you don't have a run game, it's wide open season on Drake Maye. You have got to establish the fundamentals of football, and that's where I call to fire somebody in the coaching staff, whether it's Alex Van Pelt or Drake Maye. You've got to get them out of there because there is nothing to be built off of right now. And I understand it's a rebuild year. And I understand you can't point all your fingers at the coaching staff. But guess what I can point at? The lack of run. The offensive line. The penalties, which I haven't even gotten to yet. The offense is struggling. And I know that seems like against the Rams, we found our top receivers. It's Pop, Booty, and Bourne. And I think they did a really good job here. I do. They were actually kind of the only bright spots here. I saw several plays where Bourne and Booty tried to reel in an overthrown Drake Maye pass. They got a hand on it. Some passes weren't directly to the chest. Pop Douglas was the only source of momentum on offense here. 5 receptions for 61 yards on 7 targets. I think he continues to be a yards after catch type of receiver, which the Patriots, we all know, can definitely use here. And then you look at Bourne, 3 receptions for 29 yards on 5 targets. You look at Kayshon Boutte, he only had 1 catch here, but Boutte did have 4 targets, and those weren't always easy to catch. And then, of course, your tight ends are taking most of the workload here from Drake Maye. Austin Hooper, 4 receptions for 59 yards. Also, shout out to Hooper, man. 4 receptions on 4 targets. At least you got some kind of consistency there. Hunter Henry, 5 receptions on 8 targets for 44 yards. It's tough. I feel like every single week I walk into the football game thinking, wow, I've seen the Patriots play really well. They come out here, and it's an absolute dumpster fire. It really is. So I have a question here for you guys, because I know a lot of people can point their fingers at numerous different people in this structure of a coaching staff and a rebuild and whatnot. I mean, you can point at the offensive line, you can point at the rookies, but I want to point my fingers at one group here. Should the coaching staff be fired? Not all of them. They don't all have to be. Would you fire AVP? Would you fire DeMarcus Covington? Would you fire Gerard Mayo? Or would you fire all 3? Please let me know if I am just out here and I'm so far off. Please let me know in the comment section down below. All right, before I jump into what the Patriots defense did, let me go on ahead and tell you guys real quick about our sponsor here on Patriots Today by Chat Sports. Let me tell you guys about Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app in America. I play Prize Picks every single game day, including today. So if you guys want to go on ahead and join me, maybe for some late night football action or maybe some basketball games coming up, go on ahead and do so. All you guys have to do is download the Prize Picks app, use promo code CLNS. That'll get you $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. But Allie, how do I play? That's the easy part. All you guys have to do is just pick more or less on a player's projected stats, and you can win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. You can also play Prize Picks in over 30 different states, including Cali, Florida, Georgia, and Texas. If you're thinking, Allie, you say you play all the time, where are your picks at? Here are my picks for that ball game, Patriots versus Dolphins. Demario Douglas, obviously, he hit the more on that with more than 39.5 receiving yards. Tyreek Hill, unfortunately, did not find his way into the end zone, but plenty of Miami Dolphins did. And then Drake Maye to have more than 1 passing touchdown. That was good. So I hit 2 out of 3 on my Prize Picks, which is a flex play in Prize Picks, so I can win some of my money back, but not my full payout. If you guys want to go on ahead and get started, all you have to do is download the Prize Picks app, use promo code CLNS to give you guys $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. Download the Prize Picks app, use promo code CLNS to give you guys $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Talk about a day for Tua. I mean, to the point where the analysts called it target practice for Tua. That hurt. 317 yards on nearly 70% of completions. He did get sacked twice, which is great, but this is the number I want to talk about. 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns. Wow, our secondary is bad. Other than Christain Gonzalez, I got nothing. Duggar's production's dropped. You have no Jabril Peppers. You have no Jawan Bentley. You got Christian Barmore back, which was huge. But the secondary, my goodness, it is atrocious. And I'll give credit where credit's due to Christain Gonzalez because he's the only thing that intimidates quarterbacks. But if there is one thing for certain this game taught me is when we hit April and it's the NFL draft, do not ever tell me we need to draft a wide receiver with our first pick. It better be a cornerback or it better be an offensive tackle. If it's not an offensive tackle, it better be a cornerback, and we better have traded for an offensive tackle. Our defense is supposed to be the lone bright spot for the Patriots, and they're terrible this year. Every single game, which is why I'm starting to think you got to point your fingers at DeMarcus Covington. Punish your defense for the mistakes they make. Get them to be better. Devon Achane, 10 carries, 32 yards. You know, it wasn't the highlight of the day. The highlight of the day was the passing game. I mean, Jaylen Waddle, good night alive. 8 receptions for nearly 150 yards on 9 targets. You know what that tells me? He had every opportunity flat out to make his catches except for one. And he had 1 touchdown. But I will give Christain Gonzalez credit because Tyreek Hill, he had 5 receptions for 48 yards. He had 67 yards in week 5 when they played him. Tyreek Hill was Christain Gonzalez's shadow. That was his man. And he had 5 catches on 6 targets for 48 yards. That's lockdown defense. Absolutely it is. What the hell is this? That's the other cornerback. That's Marcus Jones. That's Jonathan Jones. That's Kyle Duggar coming in. That's Jalen Hawkins. We need another cornerback because at that point, Christain Gonzalez's talents get wasted. They do. Waddle had a freaking career-high day, I'm sure. I haven't double-checked it, but my goodness, you got people out here doing the Waddle dance all day long. It's tough. That was tough. All right, let's take a look here at the overall statistics from each team. So we do, let me tell you team stats here real quick because the penalties were just atrocious. I could honestly go on a whole rant on the penalties alone, but I'll just let you know what they were. 10 penalties for 75 yards. I mean, that's just ridiculous. It happened early and never changed. All right, Patriots offense on total at 402 yards on the day. Passing, 295 yards. Drake Maye did the most that he could. He had 49 total yards of off. He had 49 passing yards in the first half, and he had 163 in the second half. So he got better, which is good. 24 carries for 107 yards. I don't know why the turnovers always say 0, because that's 2 turnovers. That's a fumble and an interception. And then time of possession was just dominated by the Dolphins. It was. Oh, that's why. Those interceptions should be on ours. I don't know why that's there. Total offense, 382 yards. Passing was 257. The rushing was 127, and then time of possession was 37. So, yeah, it's just you just got beat in every facet, man. You got beat, and it was a tough ball game to watch. But I don't know if there's going to be any changes that happen, but there definitely should be because unless something gets changed. We've heard it from the players. We've heard about the player-led meetings. I think at this point, you just have to take action. Or else we're going to watch the same product with a different opponent next Sunday. All right, my last question for you guys here. Grade the Patriots' performance versus the Dolphins. A flat-out F-bomb. An F-burger. That's it. That's all I got to say. All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in here and watching with me throughout our Sunday watch party. Hopefully I can have a better mood tomorrow, but until then, I'm just upset, I'm disgruntled, and I am sick of this, quite frankly. Go ahead and hit that sub button if you guys relate, and even if not, I do appreciate the subscribe as always. Thank you guys so much, and as always, through thick and thin, go Patriots.